This demonstration will present the major new graphics features in MATLAB 7. New features include plot panning and data cursors, new figure annotations and full LaTeX support, interactive plot creation tools, M-code generation, new high-level graphics objects from plot routines, custom graphic objects, and figure export style setup. Let's first create a plot. When you zoom into a plot, you can now pan through the data. If you want to query the value at a specific point, you can use the new data cursors. The data cursor will update as you drag it. You can choose to have the values displayed off the axes. You can add new annotations. By default, annotations are plotted relative to the figure and not to the data, so if we pan the data, the annotation doesn't follow. You can now make an annotation follow the data by pinning it to the data space. You can now add shapes. You can make use of a number of tools to align and distribute such objects. Double-clicking on an object brings up the new Property Editor. Let's create another plot. To edit and build plots interactively, you can use the new plot tools. These provide a number of additional windows for selecting objects in the figure hierarchy, changing object properties, adding more data to the plots by drag and drop, and adding more axes. You can also access the annotations from this panel too. You can now generate a function containing the equivalent M-code commands required to recreate the plot you just built interactively. You can save this function, then call it again with new data from the command line or a program. Most plotting commands now create high-level graphics objects that are easier to manipulate. Let's create a bar plot. If we bring up the property editor, we see there are new high-level properties. We can even generate M code from a single object. Which, once again, we could call programmatically with new data. The new group and transform objects allow you to create custom graphic objects from many components, then manipulate them as a single object. Let's open an example. This M file creates some complex 3D objects out of others, then rotates them as a whole. And finally, before saving a figure to a file, you can control its style precisely to conform to specific guidelines such as those for a publication. You can set figure size, rendering options, font properties, and line styles. You can also save and apply your own custom styles. This concludes the demonstration. You can close this window now or play the demonstration again by using the controls below.